Make sure it's all going. Should probably go on the live server and use a shadow phone, but whatever. Ooh. I don't think I've actually seen this before. This is purple. Oh, it's undead. Dude, that's dope. Well, at least the other caves are cool. Hey, Text Boy. Thanks for the nubblies already, man. Yeah, this is neat. I heard that they had this, I heard that they put the undead as a very rare generation, so cool that we got it as a first generation, like, geez. Hey, Jen, Dux, ours, everybody else. See, the funny thing is, like, these enemies in here work so much better as ranged enemies because they don't, like, just circle strafe around you. They stand still as a turret like they should. Yeah, sure, Text Boy. But we're just doing a solo delve because then at least we can actually play it. Trying to do it with other people just doesn't work. And for some weird reason it threw me into U10. I don't know why. Like, normally I'm in U11, which obviously is pretty difficult to solo. Best gem stats for Ice Age? Pretty much the same as any character, man. DPS. What you're gonna want to do is have, like, it's kind of like a 3-3 scenario where all of your empowered gems, you're gonna have the 2 pearls on magic damage, 1 pearl crit damage, and then the last stat is just no pearls on crit hit. And then for your lesser gems, you're gonna copy that for 3 of them, and then the other 3 are going to be 2 pearls on crit damage, 1 pearl on the magic damage, and then crit hit. Which you can obviously swap the crit hit as soon as you start, as soon as you're at 100% crit hit. I hope that made sense. Otherwise, you can check out my tutorials where I explain it better. I'm explaining it as if you know what you're talking about. Okay, I don't know why that other room didn't count as killing everything. Or did it? Oh yeah, it did. Okay. All we gotta do is go for the boss now. Why switch it? The stats. What do you mean? Oh, because you want to kind of have that 3 of them has that stat, 3 of the other, because otherwise you're gonna have too much magic damage and then it just doesn't calculate right. So having the extra crit damage works out. And then obviously for your cosmic gems, I should have mentioned you want to have all pearls on light. So, are you on PTS? No. Yes, this isn't on the live server, man. I like this undead biome, dude. Generated really cool. Like, it's considerably different than the other caves. It's got a lot much more atmosphere, you know? Like, the other ones are kind of uggles. I don't know why the boss health bar is messing up with the with that thing. We're getting a lot of mementos, by the way. Like, that's yet another one that I just got. Like, I've already been doing this for a little bit, because I was trying to work on another video. The video is literally me just complaining about the delves and how stupid they are. But I probably won't upload that, just because it's a test server. There's not really much point in complaining about anything. I just want to see things buffed out, man, because it's like, delves are not that great right now. They're really cool. Like, I I like what they are. I like what they bring to the table. It's just the execution is really poor. Right now it's fine because we're in a private delve all to ourselves and it's generated with like easy mode. But as soon as you start getting to the harder difficulty, it just becomes so like flawed. Because unless you have like a god group, it's like you're not doing anything. And it's just the way that the enemies can generate is really, really bad. Like they can generate with like 3 buffs towards their darkness stat, which is the armor stat in the game. The higher your light value, the more damage you'll do to them through the darkness stat, but it's just like disgusting. The worst of it is these ranged enemies because you have to go like so out of your way to kill them all. Because they dance around all over the place. Again, though, we've gotten really lucky with them generating as weak as they have, because otherwise normally it just doesn't happen. You have to have like a revenant or somebody pulling. Yeah, I know, Aris. That's pretty much exactly my point with the delves, is it's like, it's a great idea in concept, the execution's just not there yet. It's on the test server, so I'm really hopeful, but unfortunately, like, there's not, in all honesty, there's not enough people testing this, because it's on the test server and the way that they've set it up isn't very good. Like, if they want us to test this out, they need to make it a lot more accessible. Like, they should just throw Crystal 3 in everyone's inventory, for example. Because if they want us to test this out, we need to be stronger. Like, I need to be able to try this out with a good group. Because there's not that many on the test server, and the ones that, like, the people that are powerful on the test server usually just sit in the hub going, see how strong I am? And it's the test server, so it doesn't matter. I'm not joking. Anyways, you didn't get the reliquary token and can't progress in GEODE. Yeah, I thought that was an old bug that they fixed a long time ago. You might have to send a ticket in, unfortunately. Because yes, that's been an issue for a while. Otherwise, you're just not talking to the right NPC. It could be. I just think, like, the big issue with this, obviously it only really affects end game, because mid to early tier, the delves are fine. You know, no problems, no complaints. Obviously, nobody mid to early tier is going to play delves because the resources you get out of it, simply put, are not as good as doing normal dungeons. Like, you don't get as much XP, and you don't get anything for gear because the drops suck in here. That is like, why would anyone have any incentive for this? The only incentive is for people that are at the end game and want to get Crystal 4. But the amount of time that you have to dedicate to actually doing that, I don't know if it's worth that yet. Because I can literally go and get like a full set of Crystal 3 probably before I'll even get one Crystal 4. Like, I think a good solution would be if you got to a certain depth and then there was an NPC you could buy the crystal gear from, and you could just buy Crystal 4. I think that would be dope. Maybe even make it that depending on the depth, he'll sell the different tiers. So maybe there's an NPC that can actually just sell Crystal 3. But I think that would be cool, because then there would be a lot more incentive even for end gamers like myself, because then Crystal 4 on all classes would actually seem viable. And then you could also buy gear for the classes that just don't cut it. Because obviously, like, doing Shadow Hunter in here, it's just like, nope, doesn't work. Ooh. I've never seen this enemy type. Yeah, or at least be able to upgrade your crystal gear. Obviously, it would have to be really expensive to balance it out, but it's either that, make it upgradable, and it just costs like a ton of resources. Maybe even make it cost a bunch of the geode resources or something, like from the caves here. Or like a special item that you have to get from a certain depth. I don't know. But I don't like how RNG everything is. That's the biggest issue with the delves, is it's too random. Even the difficulty, it's like it depends on what biome generates and the debuffs to the enemies and boss and everything like that. It's like it can just be invincible. Not to mention earlier versions, thankfully they fixed now. You could actually have like the quest generate wrong, so you actually would be stuck and couldn't complete anything. Yeah, I don't know, Solex. It's been a long time since I did the Geode Cave stuff, so I'm sorry. I don't think I can be of much help. And then look at that. Look at that. Crystal 2. Was that worth it? No. That's the problem. That's my big issue with the delves. Is that happens. Like it just... And then that's just one gear drop. It's like, where can the Crystal 4 actually spawn? Can it spawn out of those chests or only out of the shadow chests that you get at certain depths? Oh god. Empty 5 rooms. And they're these guys, the worst enemies in the game. At least in delves anyways, they're the strongest. And they're ranged, so they just run away. Like it's... Ugh. This is not gameplay, man. Like, this isn't a challenge, chasing down enemies that have bad AI. It's just stupid. If you finish a layer super fast, you get a box and that box drops. Yeah, like, there needs to be a more guaranteed way of doing it to reward players and their dedication and how good they are at the game. How powerful they are. Because obviously, if you're powerful at this game, then you're dedicated to it, and those players should be rewarded for that dedication, rather than what it is right now, where it's just complete and utter random, and it's like the same as anything else in the game, where you know what would happen. I have terrible luck in this game because I've already used it on everything probably when I was at the beginning of the game. So it's like, I'll probably never get a Crystal 4, whereas other people will get it like their first try or something. That's the problem. Where is this done? It still says to empty this room, but everything's dead. Like, okay. Oh, because one of them generated in here. Weird. And here we go. Look at these guys. Look how powerful they are. Look how much strength they've generated with. Like, this stupid game, dude. I got 2-timer dragon exam bro. Yeah, that sounds about right. And here's me. I never got my 3rd as a drop, I don't think. From empowered gem boxes. Or did I? I know I crafted mine. Because I don't think that I ever got it as a drop. Wow, a blue piece of gear. This is so worth it. Like, see, this is what I mean. It's like these enemies themselves, like they sucked them out of the Jurassic biome and threw them in the delves with a armor stat on them with darkness, and it doesn't work out because these enemies are not rescaled for the delves. Like, that's the problem, man. What, King Solid? But it's like they need to take all the enemies, they need to rescale them all for the delves to work properly. On top of that, they really need to rescale the weaker classes because they just can't. You know, you can't use the weaker classes that don't work in Shadow Towers, and it sucks. Because it's like, say you're invested in this one character, and then you find out in the late game delves that it's just not viable. Like, you can't use it. And that's stupid. That's not, like, lame. Got a C3 melee for Neon Ninja after 2 5-stars, but didn't get a C3 staff after 20 hours of grinding. Yeah, that sounds about right. Crystal 3, like, the problem is that it's random. Like, Magic Find in most other games, I very, very much prefer it over Trove's system. Magic Find in most other games will slowly build up towards a guaranteed rare drop, whereas Trove is just complete random. There's no calculations to it. And that's what sucks about it, is it's like, I should be working towards something. Man, alive, these enemies are strong. Oh, I did get a third Diamond Dragon? Okay, yeah. That's what you meant, King. Yeah, I don't remember. It's been years. I played this game too much. But yeah, I got it way late. Like, I remembered that I had to craft my third egg for the dragon itself. And then I think I still have my fourth just sitting in my inventory chest or something. Magic Find should build up like a karma bar. Yeah, exactly. I think so too. So that eventually it would be a guaranteed rare drop. But then it's up to the devs' discretion. What do they consider to be a rare drop? You know, like, because at this point, Stellar is not a rare drop. It should be a variable. Like, it should be the amount of Magic Find that you have determines what the game considers to be a rare drop. Like, if you have like maybe 5,000 Magic Find plus, it should work towards getting a guaranteed crystal. Even if it would be like high numbers, at least you could get a guaranteed drop, and that would be good. And then of course make it so that if at any point you get a crystal gear drop before that karma bar reaches maximum, it would just reset it. That could be a easy way that they could, well, maybe not easy, but it could be a way that they could code something like that. Wow, a crystal 4 hat. Oh my god. Look at this. Look at this. Call this balanced? Like, oh my god. And I'm a super powerful character. If I was on Shadowhunter or any other class, at this, like, suddenly get to this floor, I'd just be game over. Like, that would be it. Oh my god. And you have to kill a bunch of them at a time, otherwise it's just not worth it. I'm here. Use my dumb vacuum. I wonder if the vacuum's gonna have a bigger part to play on live server, because apparently, like, as you upgrade it, it'll give you like buffs and stuff. I hope those buffs don't suck, because I mean, we're talking about Trove here, and most of the buffs are pretty bad in this game. Just look at Chloromancer. Chloromancer's supposed to be like the healer of this game, but it's like, no. In order to be a healer, you'd have to have it would have to be giving like defensive buffs that make it so that you don't get one shot, and I don't know, something. Oh my god. Well, this should be the last cave, man. See, and then the bugs just run away. Like, at least they, I was saying how strong they were when we first came in here. At least they're not as strong as these cavemen. Like, look how much time we've wasted. You still think 200 mastery is good after your pull? I mean, I thought it was good, but that's the thing. Everybody else just kind of proved me wrong, where it's like, all right. I mean, if everybody thinks, like, I just wanted to give you guys the option of seeing what the players thought of where the stats should go as far as mastery cap. But since most people think that 500 is the cap that it should go for, it's like, you know, I'm down for whatever the players want. I thought it would be lower. I thought people would want it to be more accessible, but I guess not. I also have a pretty warped perspective when I'm playing like games and stuff, like, because I'm doing it for, I don't know, maybe because I'm doing it for a living. It's like I'm not as invested. I am invested, but I'm not at the same time. It's like I don't really care either way. To me, it's just about playing it. If that makes sense. Has Trove been going well? I've never heard of the game. I mean, I don't know if they're trying really hard to bring in new players, but it hasn't really had that much going for it lately. Like, the updates that they keep putting out, it's like again, they seem to be trying to bring in new players, but for the most part, it's just something that gets exciting for existing players. It doesn't really even bring people back. It depends, though. I still love this game. Like, I've been playing this game for, like, over 5 years, and I'm still playing it and enjoying the heck out of it. And I think that these delves could be great if they worked out the kinks and made it not suck. Like, look at this. We might not even get this done just because these enemies are too strong. I should not go for the caveman enemies. I should just go for the weaker enemies. Mobile or only PC? No, it's on PC, Xbox, PS4. It's a free-to-play MMO, so... Yeah, we need more classes. I know. Like, I would hope that they give us one sometime soon. They should just be focusing on classes all the time, because those are the money maker for this game. Everybody always buys the new class. Not to mention, it just brings in more people, you know? Like, that's all they would need to do, is just make this game like League of Legends, where they just keep adding classes. Even if it's like a kind of an unbalanced mess. It's like, so what? But no, I love Trove, dude. Like, look at this. It's an MMO game, and it's got like this action battle system. I mean, I'm sitting here as like, I guess a mage character equivalent, summoning my little babies over and over. That it's not the most action, but there's like shooter characters, like ranged characters, melee characters. It's good. I love it. Okay, this is I guess at least if we can get them all in bulk. Dang it. Because we still gotta clear 2 more rooms. Quarantine? It hasn't changed anything. I'm doing the same things that I was doing even before it. Just sitting at home playing games. Even then, we don't have hardcore quarantine where we are, so we still go out and stuff. I think that, like, I do agree that there should be an uncapped stats, but I don't think it should be tied to mastery. I think that I've referenced this many times before, but there was another game that I played a long time ago where once you got to max level, you would earn XP, and then you could exchange that for stats. I think that Trove could really use something like that. Or even similar to Diablo, where they have Paragon levels. So any level past the max level cap, you're just slowly increasing your stats. It's very minor, but at least the fact that you're earning something makes it feel like you're not wasting your time. Because imagine if on our XP bar in the top left, like, we should still be earning XP, you know? Because I think that's one of the big reasons why people just kind of like walk away from Trove, is because there's not really much incentive to keep playing once you get max level, and even then there's not much incentive to keep playing to max level for a lot of players. Hey Teach, do you know if they club fixtures work, like the chance to reset pots? What do you mean? I don't have any club fixtures on the test server, if that's what you're asking, so I can't like 100% test this. Another thing that I think they should just give us while we're on the test server. Good God, dude. Like, we only have 4 minutes left because of these enemies. Not because it's difficult and not because I'm not strong enough, just because these enemies. Because watch, when we go to the next depth, it's going to be easy peasy. Because we'll generate different enemies. It also just seems to be the caveman enemies. Like, you look at these guys and we just annihilate them. That's the problem, is it's so unbalanced, dude. When does Delves come to live server? I don't know. Usually when it's on the test server, it takes like maybe 2-3 months. We might even get it in April. But I don't know. Depends what they're doing, and with all the quarantine stuff going on, it depends how much time they can dedicate to developing this. Because I'm sure they probably don't have as many people in their offices. More than likely, if it comes out in April, I don't know if it would be coming to console at the same time. It might come out on PC first. How do I pull the mobs to me? It's a new module that you can have for the geode caves. It's a vacuum. As you upgrade it, it'll actually like vacuum up ore and everything like that, and you can use it in the geode caves as well. Because this is obviously the same thing, but this is like an actual dungeon area, so it's a little different. Thank goodness we actually got the objective done before we had to deal with all these idiots. Man, there was so many rooms too. I probably could have just rushed for the weaker enemies instead of focusing on those stronger idiots. That's usually what I do. Because these cavemen, dude, they're too tanky. Like, it's unbalanced garbage. But we only got 2 minutes left to somehow get to this boss. I hope we can do it in time. Ooh. Well, this is interesting. I've never seen this before. Is this... Oh. It seems like it should have been Weeping Prophet or something. Oh, that reset our timer for the boss. Okay, that's not bad then. Still, this is a cool arena. I would have thought that this should have really been Weeping Prophet, not this pterodactyl. Like, okay. Tip, if you take way too much damage, go in geode mode and use your shield, basically infinite god mode. Which shield? I haven't used the geode stuff for like such a long time. I'll check in a sec. But that's interesting. I knew there was some type of defensive ability I wasn't using. Yeah, that's the barrier, right? I don't think I have that module on. Right? What's the deal with this? Oh, the barrier, there it is. Yeah, because I don't need the hook shot, right? So I could just do this. Pop. Oh, and we can use it in build mode as well. Ooh, okay. That's pretty good. That's probably a little bit more meta than what I've been doing. Not that I need it, because I've already got the survivability, but yeah, that's actually not bad. Oh, hey, an arrow memento. A dragonfly. Oh, cool. I didn't kill a dragonfly, but... And how much time did we just end up taking to get? Stellar. Crystal 2. Stellar. And that's pretty much it. I mean, I guess the drops aren't awful, but they're not the greatest, dude. Like, our Radiant, Stellar, and Crystal 2. Like, I'm not expecting to get for Crystal 4 right away, but it's like, come on, dude. Oh, nice, Creeper. You subbed for 11 months in a row. Thanks, man. It's awesome. So much time has passed in such a short time. Yeah. I mean, I guess that's not bad, but that, like, that's the thing. That wouldn't be bad drops for somebody that was way weaker than me, but for somebody like me, I could have gotten so much Crystal 2s by just doing, like, Geode Topside instead, and it would have taken less time. But you know what we're gonna do? Let's go a depth deeper and take a peek. Watch how, like, watch how much easier this is gonna be. Is this B biome generated? Yeah, it is. Uh-oh. But they've got... Oh, Tiberius 3 and 2. God damn it. Or Tenebarius, whatever. That means they have a lot of dark resistant. Oh, but they're still weak, because that's right. We're not fighting Jurassic enemies. We're fighting bees. They're weak. That's a problem, man. Like, it's just complete RNG based on, like, the biome and the enemies and stuff, because it's such an unbalanced, like, mess, and the devs didn't bother actually, like, going through and calculating all of the enemies, like, health and armor and everything. Stupid. Unio Ninja is weak. You mean in the delves, or just in general? Because if you mean the delves, then it doesn't matter. Neo Ninja is always going to be weak. I should probably just rush to the physical enemies, honestly. I don't know why sometimes they drop gear too. Could be cool if they dropped it more consistently, but hey, D. Why did that look like Hydra's boss room? I don't know. Like, I swear it was supposed to be like a Shadow Tower boss, but it just didn't generate. Instead, it was a Quetzal from Ark. I don't know, man. Here, I'll pull them in and use my barrier to protect me while they're all beside me. Even though the barrier wears off in like 2 seconds flat, but... That's not bad. I didn't even think about that, because I'm so used to, like, always having the grappling hook on. I like how you still use your stupid jet boots in here. And it just goes to show how awful the jumping is. Like, I can literally just jump twice, and it takes so much less time than using my jet boots. It's ridiculous. I got all the characters. Who do you think is worth playing in with my time? I mean, honestly, dude, play the character that you enjoy the most. Otherwise, you're gonna end up quitting. I learned that a long time ago. You just play the character you enjoy. Unless you're trying to do endgame delves, in which case you play the characters that work. And hopefully one of them is one you enjoy. I like Draco, so I'm happy that I can just use him. Oh, is Hydra not in delves yet? I know one of the bosses wasn't in delves yet. Maybe that was it. Maybe they were saying Hydra wasn't there yet. Which, honestly, I don't think Hydra will ever be in delves then. Because if they say yes, it's probably just not going to happen. Unless it's just because it's on the test server, and when it goes live, they'll have it ready. Vacuum cleaner. I know, maxing every class was... Yes, Creeper. I still have horrible memories of when I was sitting there and the last characters I had to grind up to level 30 was like the Fae and like Lancer or something. I don't think I did those characters last. I just remember looking and going, ugh. Lancer wasn't that bad, just at the time, like he wasn't as... I don't know. I guess it wasn't that bad. It's just his gameplay is really, really boring to me. Maybe I'm thinking of like Revenant, because Revenant's not that fun for just normal farming. He's good for Shadow Towers, but... who do you think is top 5 characters? And love your channel, and we'll go to it when you post again. Thanks, man. I already have videos talking about the top Shadow Tower classes, and that still stands. But if I had to choose just off the top of my head, I don't know about top 5 necessarily, but there would definitely be like Dino Tamer works. All right, top 5: Draco, Revenant. This is for Shadow Towers. Draco, Revenant, Ice Sage. I guess Dino Tamer, and then maybe Knight or Gunslinger. I don't know why I didn't say Gunslinger. These. But for just speed farming, it's probably Neo Ninja or Vanguard. Lunar Lancer works, but obviously your damage is capped out just because you're spamming your number 1 all the time. And anyone who likes Fae, I mean, good for you. That's what I'll say, because I don't like Fae. I never liked Fae. Yeah, Fae's a pretty powerful character too, actually. I always take it for granted, but Fae's probably the strongest single target damage. It's just there's not often any instances where you need to do single target damage, because most of the game is about like attacking as much enemies as possible, in which case Fae falls short. Yeah, Chloromancer. No, Chloromancer sucks. Chloromancer, when it first came out, was okay. It was very underwhelming because the ult is like the laziest in the whole game. The class itself just got worse and worse and worse. The amount of time that it takes to explode your plants and stuff. A big thing that would actually fix Chloromancer that's really, really easy to do would be, you know how you can throw down your saw plants that just spin around and hack at things? So only one of those plants can cause damage to an enemy at a time. It doesn't stack. Even if you have two of them on top of each other, only one of them is causing damage. So if they would change that so all of them could stack damage, that'd be a considerable upgrade. They also need to change it so the class gem works the same as the Dracos now, where every time you throw down your plants, it would spawn a Gatling plant, and then the damage could actually be really good. Very quick, very easy fix. Because the Gatling plant actually does a lot of damage, it's just it never summons, so it's not worth it. Replace the exploding plant with a gun plant, or yeah, that would actually be really good. If the class gem just did that and you would just throw it down. Except the explosions is actually a lot of Chloromancer's damage as well. Like it actually does do a pretty good amount. So I think that stacked on top of if the fan blades would actually stack damage with the explosives and the turret plant, that could actually be really, really viable. See, like, look at this. Look how much more time we're saving just because we generated with different enemies. Like, this game is a joke. Sucks. It's so stupid, because it's like the delves could be, like, so dope, but they're not. All because it's a couple dumb, harebrained design choices. Most of all, just not wanting to put in the effort, man. Like, go in, change the stats on everything. Everything, not just a few of them. Pick one of the biomes as a base and then just change all of them accordingly. All right, we only need like 48 enemies. I am not fighting any more ranged enemies. They're just not fun. That's the bottom line. Like maybe if I had a rev constantly pulling them in or something, but ugh. Is Vanguard your for delves? Not endgame delves, no. Obviously, all of the stuff that I'm referencing is for endgame delves, because early game, it doesn't really matter. You can just pick whatever class you want. But no, Vanguard just gets his butt handed to him, because he's a melee character. Melee characters simply don't work in the delves, because you don't recover any flasks, so you don't have any survivability. The only one that even works is the Revenant, because he's got that insane amount of life leech. What's new in Trove from months ago? I mean, I have a playlist for all the patches. That's probably your best bet, because I don't remember. I mean, I guess this would be the biggest thing now. Oh my god. Also, please, for the love of Christ, like, remove knockback in this game. Just remove it. Remove it from enemies doing it to me, and me doing it to enemies. There is no point in having that stat in this game anymore. It's just an annoyance. Oh yeah, the other thing too is since we're in a private delve, I have to use this butterfly mount because no other mounts work, which is awesome. Does Gunslinger work? Yeah, of course. Any top tier Shadow Tower classes are going to work in delves because they're basically like Shadow Towers. Woo! Oh, we're almost at the boss. I want to see if on our third shadow chest, maybe we'll end up getting lunar souls or something. I'm not sure where you get lunar souls exactly. Not yet. Did they fix rubber banding? I mean, the rubber banding isn't as bad. It can still get bad at some moments, but that's what the Delves is trying to mediate, because they're trying to make Shadow Towers a lot less popular. One thing that's finally nice is they actually changed Shadow Towers so that when you open the Shadow Tower portal, it just goes to the boss room now. There's no more arenas to the boss, which is what Shadow Towers should have always been. I'm actually really happy about that change, except that you don't get dick from the Shadow Tower bosses anymore, so it's like, what's the point? Good God, this guy's tanky. Getting Crystal 4 is basically impossible for any class that can't make it late game. Yeah, exactly. Unless you have a group that's willing to carry your ass. Like, try to get a Crystal 4 bow. Nope. You gotta get carried, man. I mean, in private delves, arguably, if you have the power rank that you don't get kicked, you can just swap classes. So... No, I know. Shadowhunter is just... It's just not as good, man. Like, it sucks that they just keep on pushing Shadowhunter to the side more and more and more. Oh god, Jurassic. Damn it. These guys have magic resistance too, which shouldn't matter too much, honestly, because I don't think these guys are super tanky. I mean, I guess they are. But see, here's the thing. At least we're getting it generating properly. Like, we only have to kill 200 enemies or so because I'm in this area alone. Because if I was with other people, we'd have to kill like 500 enemies, and then they would still be this strong, even with like a group, that it just isn't really worthwhile. Like, I don't know, man. It's just kind of a mess. Like, it's a really cool idea. It just needs a lot more time to cook. You know? Also, yes, hello other people that are joining in. What up? Yeah, and then these guys are weak. They're not fine. Or, they're okay. So, like, all the enemy reskins that were in Shadow Towers got thrown out of the window. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Jesus. Also, where the fuck do we get Binding Darkness now? Like, did they even think about this? Are we supposed to... Are we expected to get Binding Darkness out of random world bosses exclusively now? Because they don't drop it worth a damn, like... No. I didn't even think about that. That's huge, dude. That's huge. Because where do you get Binding Darkness? You need it to reroll your gems, and that's like the crux of this game. Maybe they mentioned it in the patch notes and I didn't notice, but ooh. I don't know, dude. That seems like a huge oversight. Like, that's the thing, is with delves, again, it's like, it's really cool in concept. The problem is that it's like what they're doing to try and make the delves seem good is nerf everything else into the ground and make the game slower. And it's like, why can't you just make the delves good? Why can't they just be better? I think world bosses have a 25% chance to drop Binding Darkness. Yeah, but that doesn't matter. You don't find those bosses often enough. Not as much as you did in Shadow Towers. Like, it doesn't equal out. They'd have to make it so that they guaranteed drop. Then at least it would be something that would be viable and you could go out of your way for them. You know? Which I just generally think would be a lot better anyways. Wouldn't it? God, I need an upgrade vacuum so I can pull these guys from further. Gem booster boxes dropped. Yeah, that doesn't really count though. I know they do, but glad to hear, Jammy. That's most of all the big reason why I do videos, honestly. Big Brain Trine World back at it again. Dude, Trine World is bankrupt. They're gone. Get with the times. It's Game-A-Go in charge now, and honestly speaking, these devs have been really, really good to the game. They've been working on stuff that players actually want, and they have actually been listening to players with every update and fixing all this stuff. So I'm sure they'll fix the Binding Darkness. They just need to have a bunch of people yell at them. It just clearly was an oversight that nobody thought of. Again, unless it's in the patch notes right now. I don't have the patch notes up, so I didn't check. Yeah, Rev is pretty much a must for Delves for sure. Alright, let's go to some weaker enemies, because this is already taking too long. Caveman enemies? God damn. Yeah, these guys, like, look how much tankier they are, dude. I'll kill this group, and then I'm gonna skip past these guys. But, I mean, hopefully we have enough time to do this. We won't if I keep fighting these cavemen. That's the problem. How do you build a good gunslinger? Just DPS. Same as every other character in the game, man. Can you stop generating cavemen? Oh my god. The game knows, guys. It knows these are the worst enemies in here. Here we go. Even my dinosaur brothers will be better. Hey, get back over here. Get back over here. I like how I used my vacuum, but it didn't pull them because they weren't aggroed, so it doesn't count. Because that's how Trove works. If they still have the lock to lower Shadow Tower bosses, Shadow Towers, what is the point? I know. Like, it's weird how they made, like, I don't even know why they still have Shadow Towers at this point. Like, I think that the Shadow Towers are a lot better now that you can just boss rush. But the only real reason you would even bother fighting the Shadow Tower bosses is because of the badges, which is not exciting content in any way, shape, or form. You know? Like, that's pretty lame that that's all you really are doing Shadow Towers for now. Come here, you. Come here. What's the point in the vacuum, man? Trying to kill as much as possible. The badges aren't easy for Shadow Tower bosses, but they are definitely a lot better time-wise. It does cost a lot more flux to open the Shadow Towers now for some weird reason. But the amount of time that it takes to, like, because obviously you're not getting to the boss anymore. Like, it's like, dude, I would have killed to have that when I was going for those badges. How good are the badges? Yeah, I guess that's true. The badges don't really do anything outside of mastery, honestly. So if you have 500 mastery and have all the stats from it, it doesn't really matter. I think, too, that if they're gonna end up making it so that, like, if they're gonna end up making the stat cap at 500, I think that they could stand to nerf the amount of mastery required from that point on, rather than the way that it works now, where it just gets harder and harder and harder. Because if it's just for cosmetics, it's like, I need so much freaking mastery to even get a level at this point. Bottom line, too, like, this is the biggest thing about the Delves, guys. Like, I'm already kind of bored. It's like, you know, Crystal 4 isn't worth this. Even if I would even get Crystal 4. That's the thing, though. It's not a guaranteed drop. So Delves are literally just going to be people hopping on for maybe an hour or two of grinding it, and then that's it. They'll just log out. Like, I'm trying to think in the form of, how do you make Delves a longevity? Because as of right now, I don't think that this is going to keep people's interest for a very long time. There's already lots of people that are bored of it, and that's why there isn't as many people testing it. Obviously, the end gamers are trying it out and everything, but you can't rely on just end gamers for the feedback. You know? Anyways, we'll probably just end up doing the next Shadow Tower chest and be done with it. No, I've said multiple times, Joe, like, I am into it. I think that Delves could be awesome. It's just the way that it works right now is crap. Like, they just need to make it better. They need to incentivize us to do it with better rewards rather than nerfing everything else to make delves look like they're good, you know? At least for the end game. Again, like, I don't even think there'd be a point to doing delves early game. I don't even know why they have it accessible for early game, honestly speaking, because it's like, what would you want to do it for? I guess because they moved all the Titan souls and Lunar souls into delves, but I still am not 100% sure how that works. I don't know where you get your Lunar souls. Like, I assume Daughter of the Moon is just a random boss encounter, which is pretty stupid. Like, I'll take Shadow Towers instead, thank you very much. Jesus, dude. Lunar Souls early game. I mean, maybe. What I mean is, I think the way that the delves works right now, so every third boss that you end up fighting generates with a shadow chest. I assume that we have to go the equivalent amount when we ran out of pots. Okay. So we just failed. We just can't do it anymore. I don't even know why they let you respawn, honestly speaking, because if you don't have pots, you can't fucking tank anything. So what's the point? And that's delves for you guys. A disappointment. Oh well, I guess we're not getting to that next boss. What I was gonna say though is I wonder if it's the equivalent, like maybe you have to get to the boss like 5 or 6 times before you start getting Lunar Souls. I don't know. Also, no, Joe, because it's actually generated really, really weak. I don't know why. It's only when it's the Jurassic, I was able to solo all the other ones, no problem. It's just because it generated with Jurassic enemies, I just can't handle it. Because otherwise, for some reason, like I'm in a private portal and it generated with U10. It might be U11 now. I didn't check. I haven't been keeping track. 71 enemies, though. I don't know if I'll be able to kill that amount in time. Like, maybe, I guess if I keep getting these fast travel points, but... Excuse me. Oh no. I'm coughing. You know what that means, guys. If I keep my distance, I should be good, survival-wise. Just because these dino enemies have, like, such long range with their stupid attacks, man. Like, their dumb punches. Oh yeah, an origin portal, right. I can just use that instead of the checkpoints. Yeah. Another thing too, somebody told me earlier, Joe, which is hilarious, is when we go into the tab menu. Oh, I can't throw an origin portal. Okay. I guess they only let you do it in public. That's kind of weird. But you can go to your GEODE menu and use the barrier upgrade. And that'll make it so that you can tank a few hits. Yeah, it was Senpai Teach. Right. I don't know, man. I don't know if we'll be able to do this in time. Not unless I have like a whole bunch of enemies and they gotta all be melee. I died by these guys, right? Yeah, because they were doing their dumb charge up attack. That's the big problem. Oh, come on. Get over here. Ugh. So long as I have them aggroing my babies, it's no problem. But I don't know if we'll be able to do this. That's quite a few enemies that I gotta kill in 3 minutes. Like, and without pots, like, I'm going to die. See, I'm already just taking random hits because their range on their punch is insane. It being a private portal, I could invite you, Joe, if you're on test server. Yeah, I don't think we'll be able to do this in time. Not unless we get like a really good room generated. But for some reason, we're not. What's the easiest dragon to get? Probably the Cloud Dragon. Because you just get it from Cloud Ore, and it's really, really easy. Come to think of it, I don't even think we generated with enough enemies. Or not enough rooms anyways. Like, I'd have to go backwards and go out of my way to kill some of those ranged enemies, in which case I can't, because they're ranged and they'll just kill me. Disappointing. I wanted to see what the third shadow chest would have been. Huh! I mean, at least these guys are busy with their wind-up punch. Here's the end game, boys. Now we doing it. Just throw off the ledge. That's how you survive, right? I don't know, man. To revive the game, they need a new class. I mean, that would revive it temporarily. That's the thing. It's not an end-all solution. I'm just gonna leave that there. There we go. See, as long as my babies are there. Oh, fuck. I was gonna say it's fine, but they started doing their dumb wind-up attack. Because my baby's positioning is dumb. 2 minutes. Can we do it, boys? Probably not. But I'm gonna try. I don't think we got this at all. Like, we need 32 enemies, and this is the boss room, so I would have to go backwards. Damn it. No, we can't do it. It takes too long to go backwards to fight all these enemies. Because there was just barely enough, dude. Like, I'd have to go to one of the rooms that has ranged enemies, and they'll just melt me. Because even if I killed these last 32 enemies, by the time I would get back to the depth where the boss room is to reset the timer, it's just GG, it's done. Jesus. Like, look at this. I killed pretty much everything. Save a few enemies here and there. Good God, it would have been better to just die. If I could have used an origin portal, that would have helped. We might have been able to just make it. Oh, it's because I skipped all these stupid cavemen. Well, I think we can still get the chest, even if we don't get to the next depth. So we can still try this. Like, at least we can get the goodies. God damn, these guys are tanky. Seriously. Oh my God. Stay away. Stay away. Yeah. Well, at least we can get the items. We'll get a crystal fort, right, guys? What is the max speed you get from the night class? I know I have it. Actually, now 35 kpr is possible, so I'm not exactly sure what that would be. I think it's like, what is it? It's like 125? It might be able to go to 130 now, because 35k is possible. But I'm not sure, because I think it's actually soft capped at 125, and I don't think you can get higher. I don't know why I remember that, but we'll see. Yeah, 125. Thanks, chat. God, look how tanky these guys are, dude. Jesus. Do you think the completion time for delves should be upped? I mean, that's the thing, dude. Like, it's not that the completion time is a problem. It's just the random enemies that generate it. Like, any other biome, at least on the test server, any other biome other than the Jurassic, because the Jurassic enemies are just innately stronger than most of the enemies in the game. That's just how they generated them. Like, even back when the Jurassic biome first got added to the game, these guys were too strong. Or not really too strong, they're just stronger, you know? Like, they're stronger than the average enemy. And so, unfortunately, that's being reflected in the delves, and that's the problem. Like, they didn't get rebalanced for the delves, and considering you have to kill like so many of them. That's the issue. It's not that the timer is a problem. Oh god. No. Stay back. Stay back. I accidentally vacuumed them. I was trying to actually use my barrier. Here they all come. Yeah. Go, my dino babies. Go. Protect Papa. We'll get that precious loot. It's gonna be so worth it. Right, guys? Damn, it's already like almost 5 my time. I guess I'm not uploading anything today. I was hoping I could rush something out, but I might only get the Half-Life video up today. Maybe this stream, but I've been rushing videos these past couple days. I haven't been able to get ahead of it. I still want to do like other videos too. Like if I can convince Joe, I want to do some more Windcraft, and I need to do more Phantasy Star and all that stuff. Oh, we got enough. What am I thinking? Why didn't you guys yell at me? It's your fault. No, not really. Okay, well, is this gonna be a shadow chest, or is this just a normal enemy? I don't remember. Can you still buy Trove of Wonders? Yeah. I'm not going to. No, thank you. I bought too many of them, dude. Maybe if Trove was doing a little bit better. But otherwise, I would legit just buy credit pouches, sell them, and then I would open Troves of Wonder. But it's like not enough people are watching the videos to finance that right now. What can I say? Luminopolis enemies is gonna be fun. Yeah, actually, that's true. I'm not looking forward to, if the lava biome has the catapult to enemies, we're screwed. Because those guys just one shot, and if, like, I don't know, man. We'll see what happens. We need a mod for finding nitro faster. Yeah, I kind of agree. I'm surprised that we haven't gotten a mod like that yet. All they could really do is just make so there'd be a waypoint on top of them. But it could work. Yeah, and then the boss is just no problem. Like, okay. Like, again, I want to be clear. Like, obviously my complaints, like, we're on the test server, so it's like, how much of this can we really say is, I mean, none of it's finalized. So I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt with all that, but I am still hoping that they fix it. Because it's like, there's just not really enough going on with it, you know? There you go. We already saw right there. 1 stellar out of all that. Like, how long did that take me? That was like half an hour or something. As opposed to if I just go to like U10 and do a couple dungeons, like instantly. You know what? Let's just do 1 5-star dungeon. I already did this as a test before, but I just want to try it again. Actually, no. Here's an elite. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Already a crystal right there. It's crystal 1, but that's already better. Just 1 random enemy took me 2 seconds to do. And that's the problem that I have with the delves, man. Like, damn it. I wish it was better. Gotta have better drop rates. It's gotta have a lot more things that are better for it, because otherwise it's just gonna be yet another thing that's gonna come out for Trove and no one's gonna play it. I used to play Trove so much, watch videos about it all the time, you know, but after like 800 hours I kind of lost interest. Now that I've checked it out a little bit, seems kind of in a dying state. Is it really dying out? I don't know if Trove is necessarily dying, but it's not gaining popularity. that's kind of the state that I feel it's in right now. Like, even with all this delve stuff, obviously people are really excited about it, myself included, if they can fix it before it goes to the live server. But it's like, I don't know if it's bringing in new players necessarily. For the most part, it's just kind of you know, it's just kind of like existing players already. I wouldn't say it's dying though. It's not like Maple Story where they had to close the servers. Like, Trove is still doing fine. It's just not at its peak. I guess that's a better way to put it. Anyways, thanks for coming out, guys. Really appreciate it. That's all I can stand of the delves right now. I don't really want to do anymore. Maybe I'll do some more later with like Joe or something. I don't know. But it's the test server, so it's really difficult to try this out just because I don't really have a group for it. But I don't know. Delves, to me, like, it's like, even if they ended up making the drops a lot better, it just doesn't really seem like something that's as fun as just grinding normal dungeons, you know? Like, that's kind of the thing that I have the biggest problem with out of all of it, is it's gonna get old really fast, you know? But anyways, thanks for coming out. I was gonna say smash like and stuff, but we're doing this stream on Twitch. Have yourselves a great day, and I'll probably see you guys tomorrow or something. Bye bye.